So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can improve triple flexion. And what I mean by triple flexion is I mean ankle dorsiflexion, okay? I mean knee flexion and hip flexion here. You see this all the time when you're doing things like squats, lunges, or split squats. Exercises like that, so many exercises require this triple flexion. Rather than show you exercises like the split squat and progressions of the split squat to get you there, I'm going to show you a joint by joint approach where you can actually work on improving each joint individually, improving the range of motion, so that if you strengthen the range of motion in each joint and increase it, then obviously if you have good ankle dorsiflexion, you have good knee flexion, you have good hip flexion, you're going to have no problem going down into a knees over toes split squat. You're not going to need crazy progressions to help you get there. Okay, so this is what the joint by joint approach is to training. I don't have any major problems with using progressions for like the split squat. In the majority of cases, they just don't take you into the stretched position for long enough. There's not enough time under tension for you to make any substantial changes to your range of motion. Like going in and out of this isn't putting you in this position and strengthening it for long enough. This is why I want to show you the stretches where we're actually holding this position and strengthening your end range. So this exercise is for strengthening hip flexion. Okay, and hip flexion is this. It's how far we can bring our knee up towards our chest, okay? Here I'm engaging my quads and my hip flexor muscles, also my core, okay? And you can see that this is my active range of motion. I've hit a block there, I can't go any further. Just bear in mind that I'm keeping my spine neutral here. Now here's my passive range of motion. I could pull it up a little bit further, so when there's assistance, I've got more range of motion, but we're going to be trying to strengthen this active range of motion. To do this, we're going to do PAILs and rails, so isometric contractions at the end range. So we want to find a box or a chair or something that kind of takes us to our end range of hip flexion. Okay, so here, if I was to try and pull up off of this chair, I can't really go any further, so I know I'm at my end range, and this is the position I want to strengthen. It may be a lot lower for you. You may be down here, or so you would need something lower, or if you had like a lot more hip flexion than me, you may be up here. Maybe you could put a yoga block on there to get it a little bit higher, but this is a perfect setup for me right now. And that's important to note when you do this is you don't want to move your back, okay? So you want to set yourself up, create tension in your body so that nothing else moves, and then we can just isolate this hip joint that we're trying to strengthen. Hard time with this, and you realize that as you're pulling up, you're pulling yourself in. Okay, what you can do is you can just change the setup a little bit, and you can actually do it up against the wall so that you can then really focus on keeping that contact with the wall so that you're not flexing forward here. What I'm going to do in this position is I'm literally just going to hold it as a passive stretch. So it's just 2 minutes of relaxing into this position to allow my central nervous system, my body, to adapt. Okay, once that 2 minutes is up, I'm going to start the contractions. First contraction is me pushing down into this chair. Okay, and when I do that, I'm engaging the muscles in my hamstrings, okay, and I'm driving down into this, and I'm doing it 100%, so it's a maximum effort. I'm going to do this for 10 seconds, so I'm going to do that now. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to relax, okay, I'm going to take a nice deep breath, fill up my diaphragm, reset, and now I'm going to do the rails contraction, which is pulling myself up into hip flexion more. Okay, so imagine I'm trying to lift off of this chair, but we already know I'm at my end range, I can't lift. We're just gonna try, okay? So I'm gonna pull that knee, I'm gonna engage these muscles now, or the hip flexor muscles, okay? And I'm gonna go for maximum contraction, trying to lift up. These muscles are really cramping up. I'm gonna do 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Again, we're going to repeat straight away. Nice deep breath, okay, create tension throughout the body. We're going to go for PAILs, pushing down, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Create tension, pulling up, the rails contraction, hip flexors are engaged. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, reset again, okay? Now these are going to be the last 2 contractions. Pushing down for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, reset. Nice deep breath. Contract all these muscles. Pull up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Okay, and you can hang out here for about 30 seconds. Again, just getting used to this position, this stretched position that you're now in. And that is the PAILs and rails contractions for hip flexion. Okay, so now I'm going to show you an exercise to strengthen knee flexion. When we were up in hip flexion, my knee was flexed as well. Okay, but a better way to show you what's going on there is this is knee flexion. Okay, so you've got extension where you're straightening that leg out, and then knee flexion when you're pulling that heel towards your bum. Okay, now I'm gonna just pull my heel towards my bum. That is my active range of motion. Okay, I can't go any further. I could passively, if I was to pull into this position here, but I'm gonna try and strengthen my active range of motion, not my passive range of motion. And to do this, I'm gonna do knee flexion, PAILs and rails. So for this exercise, you wanna set up on the floor, okay? And again, we're going to find our passive range of motion. So we're going to go into a stretch position here, okay? And we're going to hold this for 2 minutes. Now, this position is going to look different for everyone. Like for me, this is where I get to. For some people, I understand that your knee flexion is so restricted that you can't even grab that back leg. So there's something that you can do if you can't grab the back leg, and that is just to place something behind you that is a similar height to your passive range of motion. So for example, let's use this, but it could be a yoga block, it could be cushions, it could be anything, okay? So we're just going to go into the half kneeling position, and let's just say that this is your end range of motion, okay? When you're in this position here, okay, I want you to tuck your hips, okay, create that posterior tilt. We're going to start with the PAILs contraction, which is the first contraction, which is 10 seconds maximum effort, where I'm going to drive this foot down into this roller here, okay? So I'm going to drive into that for 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now relax, reset, fill your diaphragm up, create tension, and then now the rails contraction, I'm going to pull my heel up towards my bum. Okay, it's not actually going to move because I'm at my end range. I can't lift it, but I'm engaging my hamstrings and my glutes here. So maximum effort, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, reset. We're now driving that foot back down into the ground for the PAILs contraction. Quads, hip flexors, they're engaged. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, the rails contraction, I'm pulling my heel up towards my bum. Maximum contraction, engaging the hamstrings, trying to lift, trying to get that heel close to the bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, last 2 contractions now. Pushing down, maximum effort. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails contraction, pulling up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can hang out here for 30 seconds, or you can just jump straight out of this position. But that's the PAILs and rails for knee flexion. Okay, Now we're gonna work ankle dorsiflexion, okay? Dorsiflexion is this, my knee traveling over my toes, or you can think of it this way, just me pulling my toes up towards my knees, okay? That's ankle dorsiflexion. Again, this is my active range of motion here, me pulling in, no help whatsoever. My passive range of motion, when I add weight and assistance, I can actually go a lot further into this, get a better stretch. So when I'm loaded, I can go further into this, but we're gonna try to strengthen that active ankle dorsiflexion, bring it more in line with my passive range of motion. So to do this, we're gonna do PAILs and rails for ankle dorsiflexion. So you wanna go down into a stretch, okay? It's important to note that I'm keeping my heels down on the ground. I'm not letting them come up, okay? So I've got a full stretch on here and I can feel it in the back of the calves, maybe the Achilles, okay? I'm gonna hold this for 2 minutes. So I'm gonna relax into this position for 2 minutes. Once the 2 minutes is up, I'm gonna start with my PAILs contraction, okay? It's gonna be 100% for 10 seconds, and I'm gonna push my toes into the ground. Imagine you're pushing down on the accelerator, okay? 100%, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, take a nice deep breath, reset, okay? We're gonna pull our toes up towards our knees. They're not actually gonna lift, but we're gonna be pulling ourselves deeper into ankle dorsiflexion. So I'm contracting tibialis anterior muscle here, okay? And I'm gonna go for 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax, reset. Okay, again, pushing down for the PAILs contraction into the ground, contract the muscles on the back of the leg this time, okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails contraction, pull up, engage the muscles on the front, 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, last 2 contractions, pushing down into the ground, contracting the muscles on the back, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, rails pulling up deep into that stretch, really contract, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is ankle dorsiflexion, PAILs and rails isometrics. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you found it useful. Be sure to check out our programs that are available on our website. Kind of the way I've done this with the joint by joint approach, that's how our training programs are kind of structured, okay? So they're not just progressions for exercises. We actually take that joint specific training and teach you how to improve mobility in each joint.